joined by Jamada, and we are going to be getting into game 2 very, very shortly. Again, if JDG win here, they lock playoffs for them and for BLG. And that is something you love to see as we're getting a little bit closer.
Isn't that a lovely
They
bit
beat
of
them all the time, so you
hand-holding?
got to give them into playoffs, right?
Lovely bit of hand-holding between the new rivals here in the LPL, right? Yeah, obviously, like we're saying, JDG win this, playoffs, and I guess, you know, little bonus that BLG get in for themselves. And I mean, after game 1, I don't know what to expect from game number 2, to be honest with you. How confident will JDG come into it? Because, yeah, you know, we were double checking in the break, and Mazel informed me via, I can't remember the name, so forgive me. Glaywith. Thank you very much. First rel on the tier 1, or rather world qualified. He's playing Ivan. Okay, man.
Yep. Just finish your point. We'll get to it. Finish your point. We'll get to it.
I can't finish it. They're gonna kill Doggo.
Okay. Well, you know what? It happens.
All right, never mind. They're not gonna do it. They're not gonna do it. So first rel on the world qualifying region in the jungle. Kind of crazy from Kanavi. We've definitely seen Ivans, however. So, you know, not as many cool points there. But I do like this draft that JDG are running alongside the Ivan. You've rolled a good partner to have Ivan with, Mazel, because I played this champion way too much in my spare time. Like,
I just want you to know, also, Kanavi has now added 2 more champions to his champion pool. He's at 13 champions played now as a jungler. In a meta where the junglers have been so stagnant over and over again. I love it. I love to see Kanavi feeling confident, because that means JDG, even on paper, are terrifying. If Kanavi is the confident one, he is the one that is running the rift, that is a JDG that nobody wants to touch, or maybe even can touch.
T-Tors from...
God, that's so nuts, man. Oh, that's so nuts.
He knows. Oh, this is warming my
my
Ivan main heart at the moment. Are we just gonna follow him around as well, please? You know, we don't really get much we don't get communication with the observers actually ever. But you know, I do hope we get to just kind of follow Kanavi around for a little while longer. This is probably why there's gonna be a lot of fighting down here. 2 melee supports that love to butt heads, and 2 AD carries that are equally as aggressive on the CCs, respectively. So we'll see how volatile this bottom lane matchup ends up being, because yeah, Rel, Samira, and other way around. Kai'Sa Rel and Samira Nautilus certainly love to try and snowball over one another. Kanavi with this pathing, by the way, could actually make it down to the bottom side super early. I literally mean earlier than... Oh, he even knows the insta... Oh, I'm so impressed. This is
and he had gone up to get red too.
This is peak Ivan clear optimization. Oh man, very, very good stuff.
We've seen Ivan as well, but we haven't seen this kind of mechanical stuff. Like, Shadow just played it last night, or the other night, and, you know, didn't look nearly this good.
Did it look like that? Was he
no, because Kanavi stuffed him as Bel'Veth.
All right, well.
That's what happened.
There is one thing that Ivan has as a pretty core weakness to the kit, is that he can be invaded quite easily in the early game. So Ning looking for opportunities on both sides of the map to do that. He does steal away the chickens in this instance. 369 is not paying attention to where Ning was, or the ward. But if he can buy enough time for Kanavi to get up here, which, yeah, it's Maokai Kasante, Mazel. They don't really deal a lot of damage right now, this early on into the game. So he doesn't even have to blow his flash, and actually just trades back in their base.
See Kanavi hover up here so he can get this crash in for 369. We'll see actually Ning wrap potentially back around. I would like to see Ning continue being that kind of aggressive stance. We've seen him actually try to invade as decently often as possible, because I would hate to see Kanavi get ahead like he did last game on the Rel and just kind of control the jungle. But you do have a lot more spatial control for Ning.
I've got some, well, actually, no, this is bad.
You have good news? Because I'm going to need good news right now if you're an Ultra Prime fan, because that is first blood straight into the pockets of Knight.
Oh, no. And he's stealing the blue buff.
Oh, Kanavi. The Realm. SwordArt in trouble. He had to get that flash. Luckily, he had a lot of distance covered with that. Did burn the Ignite, too. You got the Ignite and flash from missing. So Summoner Spells on supports down, but SwordArt survives.
Yeah, SwordArt survives, and Knight should be able to disengage this one, but he's actually taking the trade aggressively.
Ooh. He wants it. Maybe a little bit zealous. The Conquer is there to go, but Forge taking the positive trade out of that one.
Oh, I'll definitely say he was taking the more positive side there for sure. As missing Ruler, I mean, SwordArt was about to go back to base, but I think wants to just stick around to, at the very least, soak up some of this XP. Already a little bit further behind, which has allowed Doggo to soak up a little bit of solo XP, but it's not necessarily ideal. But the good news I was about to say was, you know, it's kind of hard to take over a game as Ivern, right? In the earliest of stages, because he's not really like, by, you know, by nature of what you'd expect when you hear this champion is a good snowballing champion. He doesn't really do that. But what he can do is he can enable his lanes to very quickly become oppressive, especially for me. What I think the big misconception around Ivern used to be was that, like, you know, he came out during the Ardent meta, so it's like, man, you know, he's so good at helping his AD carry stay alive and da-da-da. He is, but he actually enables the bruisers far more. Any shorter range champions is just going to force Ning to flash out of the river there. Let's pick up the Skull Crab for his troubles, but still not ideal. So when it comes to buffing up the frontliners and keeping them alive, that's where Ivern also actually really does, you know, shine, to be honest with you. And even in dives like these, where just the extra layer of CC and the shield burst can really be helpful. We'll just force Ning back. Won't actually be able to take the Krugs, of course, but with Knight rotating over, this is obviously the end goal of the turnaround here as the Q connects.
Oh no, Ning, he's gonna go in, but he dies. Knight gets a second kill. Forge is here though. SwordArt missing that dredge line is so huge. Doggo tries to go in, gets the cleanse, but he's out. No, we can't find a way. A double kill to Knight and one straight to Ruler. Throw up that questionable kitty because this is sus.
Man, it was the thundering blow from Knight, which actually sent Doggo back to the start of his dash. If we get a replay, I'm sure we'll get the slowdown on that specifically as well. But JDG just absolutely dismantle Ultra Prime on the bottom side of the map here. They're going to miss out on 2-3 waves of XP and golden as the replay comes through. Talk about it because it's just Ning being bullied out slowly. And you know what we said? So if you're Ivern, you can struggle and you can be invaded. Well, I guess Kanavi just wants to not get invaded and will invade himself. But let's get a slowdown here because I think it's Knight. Sends Doggo back to the start of the dash. Yeah, with the E. So it just means that he's never really in a position to, at the very least, try and get some AoE damage out. But at this stage, Samira's not even really doing that. But it just feels bad to get sent back to the start of the dash, doesn't it?
We didn't really get a chance because we've been trying to catch up to the games here. We didn't really get a chance to set up stakes for either side, right? But I honestly, going into this game, really appreciated Doggo and SwordArt's approach here. The Nautilus Samira, something that Doggo can be a bit aggressive on in the 2v2, but now you look 7 minutes in, you're like, well, crap. And you figure out what can go forward because now it is a bit of a situation where Knight will be fully unlocked from the mid lane and you're going to struggle to find answers for him.
Yeah, I feel like...
Oh my god, SwordArt, you don't have a way out. You've already used the dredge line and an easy kill for Ruler. 2-0 now, 369. That's an answer. Hery, he gets the kill with a little bit of help from Ning, so Ultra Prime, they will not go quietly into the night.
No, but I think Doggo might. He's still got flash, but how much can he really do through this dive?
Man, he's trying to get missing down. He does have the blade whirl, and Doggo gets one back now. He's got the resets, but Ruler shuts him down. 3 kills as you can't kill the king. Yeah,
Ruler presses his R key in kind against Doggo and just says, calm down. This is my bot lane. You might have killed missing, but you won't kill me. And you'll continue to fall slightly further behind as Ning has started up this Herald. And with the first move, I guess, from Hery, who's technically out of mana. This feels a little bit awkward, yeah, because 369 is going to come back. Not only that, but missing, having just died on the bottom side, can actually rotate up here as well. I need to see where exactly SwordArt.
All right.
Both Doggo as well. So JDG will respect the fact that Ultra Prime can have numbers, and Ruler still being in base means that they definitely won't have 5 here in time. We'll just let the Herald go over. Ooh, Dragon up yet. So it's going to be something I suspect JDG will try and trade in kind, or we could actually see them just try and cut off the rotation here. Vision being denied away. Doggo's by himself, but Ivern, you can see on that ward there, should give Doggo and Ultra Prime as much information as they need to safely rotate back down to the bottom side.
Actually gonna rotate back around because why not use this deadly duo here? As SwordArt gets caught, Daisy comes out, and you got a lot of damage on a level 5. Ooh, nice little weave of the dredge line. Gets SwordArt out of there.
Yeah, we'll see SwordArt just about keep his flash as well. I think the more important thing, not just his life. As very cheeky from Hery. And the timing is perfect. All right. And they had, of course, on the opposite side of the wall, Kanavi on that ward as he was resetting, so that's what the timing was for. And unfortunately, Kanavi didn't quite stop his base in time whilst the start of that play was going on. JDG, however, despite losing that top side play, plus of course the Herald, will pick up this first dragon. And it's a Chemtech Soul, or a Chemtech Dragon rather, not Soul.
Yeah.
Which, just one, feels pretty good, you know, that 6 or 7% shield power and healing power. Once the Echoes of Helia come online, or actually I've seen a couple of different, you know, priorities here for first items for Ivern. Obviously Echoes of Helia kind of operates as like old Athene's Unholy Grail, which is of course like that used to be his bread and butter item. Moonstone obviously got changed, and Moonstone is actually not that bad, but I feel like for pro play, you're either looking at that Helia or you're looking at Shirelia's, right? The movement speed is always super, super valuable if you can get it on top of your carries.
What do you expect the outlook for an Ivern as we approach mid-game to really be, and especially one that has so much advantage through mid and through bot?
So it's again, it's about just propping up your very, very fed carries, right? As JDG,
you're gonna get reverse ganked here, but that's a big magnet storm as well. Doggo gets locked down, but that's the Infernal Trigger. He's got the resets now. Kanavi has the flash, and Missing is on the wrong side of town. Ruler had gone down, so they don't have the damage. Luckily, you got the mount up and a fast horsey for Missing. He's got to try to find a way. Oh, he's going to take that sapling, and that is all she wrote. Ning finds the advantage, finds the counter gank, and that's what you love to see for Ultra Prime.
Definitely is. 369.
Ooh. Let's have that leap strike right back. But that is a lot of plates going over to Hery. He's going to have a huge advantage from this Cassante top lane.
Certainly is. This is just by himself. This wasn't like the Herald was dropped earlier on. You can see that Ning actually still has it. So really, really good stuff from Hery. Winning out on this side of the matchup quite handedly. JDG 369 will have the Divine Thunder though. So that's kind of where the matchup can start to turn around in his favor. So we'll see how that development continues. For now, speaking of plates, Knight will pick up one of his own. I will say, we spoke about in game number 1, you know, overconfidence in terms of plays and what have you from the side of JDG, whether it be through draft or just through execution. And in this case, I wouldn't necessarily say it's overconfident, just not anticipating the alcove gameplay from Ning, as the CC is solid, and by the time that Ruler can even get himself out of dodge with the Killer Instinct, he's already about 300 HP. Forces Kanavi back as well, Doggo does, and Doggo does have himself a Duskblade. Oh, I think we're on... I can't recall if we're on the patch where the Duskblade interaction is fixed or not, but yeah, with Duskblade Samira, you can be in untargetable, I think, whilst you're inside your ult. That was definitely live, but not sure if they patched it on 13.12, so we'll have to see how that one works out. But still very, very powerful, and Samira, a champion that can actually utilize lethality quite well, because the base damages can be quite high on the ultimate, so we'll continue to see how much success he can find on this pick, as he's going to get a little bit of cash injected into his back pocket. Not the most, because it's just one plate, because of where the health bar was on that turret, but gold is gold, and if they can pick up that next play as well, that's going to feel extra good.
It definitely will, and any advantage is something to write home about. Forge taking a heavy trade from Knight, but it is followed up by Ning with those grasping roots. It connects, but Knight gets the kill anyways. The shutdown goes to Ning, and the tree is getting a little bit fed for Ultra Prime right now.
Yeah, I guess he is. All right, AP carry,
Tree v
Maokai.
tree.
He's got tree v tree, tree v tree. Oh my god, what have you just set loose?
Lord of the Rings fans are in shambles.
You know, do you know what we need? You know, I don't know how often you visit Twitch chat, but you know the mystical tree meme? We need that as an emote right now. This is a flag out to Hysterics if he's watching the broadcast, because I know he's normally the one that adds the emotes to the chat. We need it. We need it as a... I think
we've seen this one go down before.
Yeah,
he's trying to keep away from the blast code. Oh, Ning not able to follow him up here. Hery's just gonna flash for him just like last time. Does get the knockback, and Hery picks up another kill on the top side. Ultra Prime, they actually got some give to of this second game, Jamada.
Yeah, not bad. That's SwordArt.
Kanavi, the ever scary tree.
Kanavi. It's up now.
Oh, one more. Okay, but SwordArt has Redline.
Yeah. Okay, so let's take a deep breath, because this is perhaps not the direction that we expected.
How's the Kaiju looking?
The Kaiju's looking like he had a bit too much to eat before hibernation and didn't really get a good workout in before he came to destroy the town again.
I see,
so,
I see.
I think right now JDG might need to take a breath and just kind of calm it. As I'm actually getting a pro view look of stop side play.
Interesting.
Sure, why not? As good
Try to
Q
keep
knockback.
away.
Yeah, good Q back knockback to try and keep 369 off of the blast cone, but unfortunately, Hery is playing a champion which eventually will have. I'm not going to recite the copy pasta. You know how it goes, and finds his way over the wall and knocks back 369 in the end. So not bad for Ultra Prime. And like
I was hoping he was going to get the llama kill.
No.
Dude, those llamas are so adorable. They are
They
literally the best.
It's a great skin. He's actually going.
Look at him!
Yeah.
Oh.
By the way, Ning's going full AP because he's so fed.
Honestly, why not?
I don't blame him.
Like-
No. I don't blame him in this game. It does kind of make sense.
Yeah.
Especially because he's the sole AP of his team, actually, now that I think about it. So he actually just wants to be a damage carry alongside the rest of Ultra Prime here. And it will make the saplings, you know, significantly more obnoxious. Don't often see it these days just because it is so frequently this tank version of the champion. As JDG now, they want the second dragon because they picked up the first. They can put the pressure on Ultra Prime to have to contest the third one, then they'll definitely feel like they're in a much better position. But I guess it's going to dissipate for now. Maybe mid lane wave will be the next point of focus for both teams. As Hery's actually made his way down here, well ahead of 369, who's still in the top side. So this could just end up being Ultra Prime's dragon. As Kanavi also took a reset. And this will be them making it one apiece. So could be in for a long one here.
I got a fully serious question for you, Jamada. Absolute seriousness, all the analysis you can muster in this moment. How many llama saplings does it take to equal Daisy?
Well, Daisy right now has about 1.3k HP. So I think if I recall correctly,
win with that.
so I told you I play this champion, man. Ning saplings, if they're in a bush, they probably deal like what? Almost 400 damage a pop. So you're gonna need at least 5 to
But then
to
you
kill
factor
Daisy.
in the
Not
fact that
factoring
they
in the
have
shields.
cool glasses. But then they have cool glasses too. So like,
okay.
what do you do, honestly, if you're JDG? We also see Forge jumping in here to try to get the resets coming through. And it's a really nice pick out of 369 from Ultra Prime.
I'm gonna be honest, Mazel. I think JDG might be in a hole that I'm not sure they'll be able to overcome unless they.
Ooh.
Okay, well maybe Knight's Jace could be could be the ladder back out.
I mean, they still have a 4-in-1 Knight and a 3-in-1 Ruler. I think those you know, nameplates on, it's going to be a little difficult. SwordArt trying to go with the flank, though. He is completely disconnected, though. It gets knocked down. Daisy is doing work as a bouncer for JDG. Holy cow, man. The work factor goes through the roof with a snipe from Ruler. And he was tired of giving Knight all the showboating in game number 1 as he is making his name known here at game 2.
Why did I bother even saying anything? It's JDG, man. I mean, they might not get the Herald, but they kind of just slaughter Ultra Prime in front of it. 369 is also going to get a little bit of damage onto that bot side tower, perhaps, but even in that, it just feels like Ultra Prime had no business losing that team fight, but a little bit too disjointed, right? SwordArt went in too soon. And there wasn't really any follow-up, and JDG were able to peel, whilst Kanavi also had Daisy on the back line, like you said, playing that big bouncer. Very, very obnoxious Daisy can be, especially at this point in the game, actually. Now as he crests over level 11, Daisy has even more HP.
Yeah, you've got to be a little bit careful with some of those factors, especially. But now also just looking at proactivity for Ultra Prime. Maybe trying to get Doggo, try to get Forge any of this Rift Herald gold that is being held in Ning's pocket. It is still difficult to find much, as we'll actually take a look back at the replay and the attempted flank of Ultra Prime.
Yeah, so SwordArt, I mean, he's looking for Knight, but who can follow up? Also, Daisy is just being a menace, and that's kind of why, even though Ning smites Daisy down, damage is already done as Void Seeker. This is an angle. All the way. Wait a minute.
He could have blocked it.
No, I have to pull that back up. Okay. Okay, Ning. All right, bud. Well,
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. See, we refresh. It's like nothing happened. He does have to use this Rift Herald, though, eventually. Maybe try to use it as a bit of a distraction right now. There's still so much time till another objective comes down in Nature's Grasp. while it will connect and actually followed up onto missing, he does get right out of there with that explosive charge on his back.
Daisy.
So no resets, and 369 has come in with the flank. Beautifully done. And JDG, they pick apart a couple members, follow it up with another. As they just have so much forward momentum. This Kaiju is ramping up, Jamada, and they have completely blasted through Ultra Prime.
I think we're at the lasers out of the eyes part of the Kaiju monster. This is ridiculous. JDG were almost in a hole, and then they remembered that they're JDG, so they stopped being inside of it. It's that simple. Ultra Prime have not really got much to say, I feel like, for the remainder of this game. Really, really strong flank from 369, but also it was Daisy from Kanavi that just set up a double knock-up for 369 just to confirm the extra bit of CC, and chase down was so simple. Now the Baron's up on the map, and you have to just kind of feel that the next team fight that JDG take, they will try and turn it into a Baron if they're around the area.
They're feeling so confident. Knight maybe in the side lane can be an answer, but he is playing very safe as well. Really nothing there as JDG get resets on both Knight and Ruler. You're wondering what can come into their inventories here as well. As you're circling those 3 item spikes, and there it is for Ruler at the Guinsoo's Rage Blade.
Guinsoo's picked up Redemption for Kanavi. Mid lane, Knight is approaching 3rd item, but
Forge just dies here.
yeah, he does.
Oh, my God. Oh, and then he gets buffer stopped.
Oh,
They gotta be quicker than that with the hands as Knight just shuts him down. Hery gets locked down, CC'd to hell. He goes all out into the ground as JDG take another life from Ultra Prime. Kanavi gets his first kill of the game.
Make it stop, Mazel. Make it stop.
It can't stop. The train is headed to playoffs right now for JDG.
He won it. And I don't think Ultra Prime are the opponents that will be stopping them today. Almost all of the inner towers dead, just the one in the top side, and that's only because JDG haven't really put much focus down. Knight might have to flash. I mean, here's the teleport.
They've got
about the response here
on
because
him.
Knight's
They
dead.
finally get him. Doggo will not go down either. And there's that nice little interaction we were talking about, by the way. And now we see actually in mid lane a bit of a capitalization. Finally, that Rift Herald had gotten used by Ning, but JDG, they try to go for this engage here. A little bit of trouble. Daisy goes through. Ruler snipes the backline. Doggo's out of the fight. That means there's no give left for Ultra Prime unless Forge can make it happen. Backline access is a thing. Rocket Jump is coming through, but it's not enough. Ruler with a Quadra, and it's the Penta denied by Kanavi.
You know what, Kanavi? Good job. We don't need AD carries getting any more hype this time around, especially not Ruler. I'm kidding, though. That's kind of an honorary Penta, isn't it? As JDG just mopped the floor, specifically Ruler with Ultra Prime. And yeah, this game, I think, has just snowballed out of control now. 3 items pretty much across the board starting to crest over for JDG, for the important members. And the supportive of the JDG will continue to just keep everyone alive.
Yeah.
And yeah, this just feels like a bit of a done and dusted affair. And it's all because of the Herald that got dropped quite a while ago, actually. Slow pushing in. And the collapse comes through from JDG.
JDG are terrifying, man. Like, they have found ways to not have an MSI slump, right? They might have lost their first series of the split, but they are looking at 10 wins in a row if they close out here. They're looking at a playoff berth. This team has all eyes in front of them, and they are feeding off of the momentum of literally destroying the LPL, destroying their opponents, and destroying Hery in a side 2v1.
Absolutely monstrous, the momentum that JDG have built for themselves. Sing and Ruler going to be
catch
well.
out here.
There's the
Nice. All right, you got a little bit of turnaround maybe going through from Ultra Prime, but it won't come through. A little bit of lack of confidence there. Look at 369. He's coming up for another flank as well. Ruler has killer instinct. If they want to pull a trigger, they absolutely can.
Kanavi's on the Baron. He's hitting the Baron by himself because he wants it.
He's just getting chunked.
No, it's fine. His shield is huge. He's not losing that much.
They don't
HP.
want the bear. They want the fight.
Oh god.
Mystic's just getting very low. This is getting worse and worse by the moment. Knight's trying to get a long-term
Ning's
flank.
gonna steal
Mystic's
it,
almost dead. as now it's Kanavi that gets it. 369 goes forward. Knight shuts a shot into Doggo. Doggo's trying to get resets, but Doggo gets blasted as Ruler was the distractionary tool, but they haven't found the way to kill him this time. It's not game one, and we're far from home from Ultra Prime. The Kaiju destroying them one by one as SwordArt and Hery just have to watch. This is structure by structure domination from JDG.
Far from home, and I think it will take multiple universes to take down JDG at this point. For me, I think far and away the best team in the LPL. Root's gonna connect. 369 just come in and try and chase down Hery, but if he doesn't connect, Knight certainly will.
And
there they go,
comes
Mazel.
Ruler as well, and they just have so much damage as Knight gets another one. Trying to match Ruler here. 11-1 for the carry of JDG, but 10-2 right behind him is Knight. As is tradition, Ultra Prime will try to put a defense in, but this could be the final touches.
Has to be JDG. Have all 5 members available down here on the bottom side, missing a little bit slow to the play, but he's here. They have a wave, and I think it might be a little bit too thin to end just here. They will look likely to just back away, go towards another lane, and open up the base again.
You know, the Ivern bush is kind of OP for those little alpacas.
Yeah, it definitely is something you have to be a little bit weary of when you play Ivern. There's only really 2 matchups like that.
Look at him run.
He is pretty adorable, isn't he? It's just Maokai and occasionally Rengar, but often Rengars kind of get themselves killed. They get a little bit too excited. Oh my god, there's a bush in the middle of mid lane, and then you just, you jump into like 5 people and die. That's what we see very, very frequently. But
That's
I
a
don't feel like
rabbit
Kanavi
for
cares.
Ruler.
Yeah. I feel like Ning's gonna feel that the most if he's
And
going in.
that's just now second item for Forge. There's a little bit of a gold diffy going on. All right.
I don't want to say there's a gold gap going on, but what you might be seeing is a bit of a wallet diff very, very soon. JDG just have to siege in the mid lane. Super's already approaching the bottom side of the map, and they've got 45 seconds to work with, and that one wave that they have in the mid lane might on. Okay.
Oh, Ning! Wow, that's that Rabadon's diff right there. 2 sticks make a hat, and also make Ning dead.
Goodness me, JDG. How much can they get from this?
That's
Super's
just
on the
it?
bottom side. 369's down there as well. This should just about be it, Mazel. It's last chance saloon for Ultra Prime.
Oh, they got one defense. Ultra Prime, imagine you awake to a world where you're sleeping beautifully comfortably, but there are pounds coming into the ground, shaking your chest. It is the Kaiju that has arrived, and JDG have destroyed the LPL one team at a time. They have taken out the defenses that once were in the best league in the damn world, and JDG will make a stomping entrance into the LPL playoffs here in summer 2023. Congratulations to the best team in the LPL.
Domination. Nothing more to say than that. Game 1, Game 2, same kind of deal. This one here, they had a little bit more fun. And as you say, congratulations to JDG, first team to qualify into the playoffs.